Excellent. All right. All right. Welcome, 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 everyone. Happy full moon. We have been in the full moon downloads since like Saturday. The full moon goes direct tomorrow morning. I think it's 7:34. Don't quote me exactly on that. Tomorrow morning, and that means we're like in this window of a lot of healing and transformation since like Saturday to like Thursday, Friday, and as far as I know, there's nothing else coming in behind it. But it is a lunar eclipse. Astrology is not my thing. I just, pay a little bit of attention to what people are saying, but Lord knows we don't even need that because it's a little crazy out there in the world anyway. So it is fabulous to see you guys. Let me go ahead and every time I start talking, somebody comes in and I want to let them in, so it distracts me. Anyway, let me go ahead and cast a circle of light, specifying that only Source Creator God, my healing team, and the support teams as needed be present for tonight's healing circle, where we are doing healing with the teachings of the guides. And tonight we are in the Book of Resurrection. We've been in the Book of Resurrection, I think, once before. And we are looking at day 16. And it starts on page 160, goes to page 161. And let's see if I can share this with you guys. Maybe. How do I share? Doesn't want to let me share. We'll do it this way. We'll see how this works. It might be some conversation from the last healing circle, but we're all good. There it is for you guys if you want to look at it. It is really short. It is amazing how much stuff the guides can pack into just a few pages. Actually, one page can be enough for a lot of transformation, and tonight is no exception. There's a lot of healing opportunities for us in this piece. So as we get started, the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to sit in the energies of the full moon. Now, in the healing world, we were calling it the full moon of triumphant celebration. There is a new frequency to the planet, and it is called triumph. The frequency of celebration came in probably no more than 2 months ago, but we're going to sit in that frequency of triumph, which is a reddish orange. I see it as like a lot of red with orange, and then it has a lot of gold in it as well. And yeah, it's an amazing frequency. These frequencies that are coming in now are like basically just healing everything. 8-10 years ago, the frequencies that were coming in were like, oh, it's healing worthiness. Oh, it's healing, pain. Now they're like, bring it. We're just healing as much as we can, as fast as we can. So we are bathing in these frequencies. And if you want to picture yourself sitting in a bath of sorts, it is that frequency of triumph, the exaltation, which is pink, blue, and gold. And the pink is that love frequency. The blue is the wonder frequency, the frequency of clarity. And then illumination, which is a frequency that just amps everything up just a little bit more. And it's very sparkly. And then transcendence. is another one of those kind of opalescent frequencies, and then ascension, which is gold. So you just imagine yourself sitting in, any of those that work for you, or if there's something like your higher self is going, oh yeah, we're running some purple frequencies, you go, okay, it's perfect. But just so you know, you're bathing in these, and this is an opportunity for us to just be like, oh, yes, it's fabulous. Just keep trusting how it shows up. Your higher self is on it. Always, always, always. So, in day 16, we're going to sum it up in a very short space of time. And that is that this is about us recognizing that we are a divine higher self. We're divine self having an experience. And in day 16, it's really about us understanding that everything that has happened to us, like we can transform the things that happen to us, right? So, we had a traumatic childhood with either one or many events that happened. And we can transform the events that happen, but we sometimes get stuck in the idea that we can't transform all of it. And the way the guides talk about it in day 16 is at the bottom of page 160, where they actually talk about Paul seeing a fabric being stretched, and that we imagine our lives as the embroidery that is on the fabric. And so the things that get healed are like having the embroidery changed, having the embroidery removed, having that transformed. But what we're actually working on tonight is the fabric piece of it, like the piece where we deny the divine in ourselves and other people and things we look around at. And so they say the fabric itself, that which these things are stitched upon, can indeed be rendered new through the redemption of a life by the monad. To be redeemed is to be reclaimed. Redemption is a beautiful sky blue frequency. Reclamation is an amazing green frequency, and those are both on the planet. So there's lots of opportunity for us to transform those ideas that we have that are busy telling us that, yeah, we can get rid of some stuff, but we can't get rid of all of it. And it's a beautiful opportunity for us to go, yes, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on reconciling it all. So, while you are bathing, here's what showed up for me. Let's get really practical for a few minutes. For a few minutes, let's talk about, what do you want most? What do you most want? It might be what you most want in the world, in your life, in this moment. I have had moments earlier today that I was like, I just want a little peace, and that's perfect. Or I just want to be a little less stressed by what is going on in the world. Whatever that is, pop it into the chat, because we are going to work on that tonight. Don't be shy. Put it in the chat. Anybody want a calm, stress-free life? Anybody interested in a calm, stress-free life? I'll put my hand up. I put both hands up. I'll freak out the computer. Yeah, lots of opportunities. Yeah, yes, as a matter of fact, I want a lot more ease. I want to feel safe. I want to feel good in the body that I'm in, right? Yes, all of those. Oh, Judy goes, I want understanding why we do what we do, and a lot of compassion for our choices. All right, You're going to get it tonight, Judy. Get it tonight. Yeah, because that's it, the compassion about our choices, knowing that our choices that we've made in the past are really just the choices that keep coming up to be healed. You know, we're like, okay, we made that choice. Oh, it's going to come up to be healed. And then as it gets healed, it's actually no longer available for us to be triggered by, but we keep going, but wait a minute, are you sure? Are you sure? So, yeah. Terry, less stress, more peace. Clearer channels. How about that? That's a fabulous one. And speaking of healing fear, guilt, and shame, I got you. All right, calm, stress-free life. Where is it that you are holding some stress about your life? Whatever it is, we all have different pieces to it. Like some of it is safety, some of it is, you know, in your relationship, some of it might be in your career or your job. Whatever it is, where are you holding a lot of stress in your body around your life? What is stressing you out? When I ask that question, I have my hand back here on my brainstem, which is definitely the start of my central nervous system. And nobody has to say that because we're going to work on that for everybody. And if you do, it's fabulous. Powerlessness in the left hip. Hey, Janelyn, your whole body. Yep. And your sternum. Absolutely. Yep. Happy to work on that left hip, Judy. There's a lot sitting in there. So, yeah. All these places that you all are mentioning. Here's the beauty of tonight. What we do for one, we do for all. And so it is fabulous that if anybody has anything in their left hip, they're getting some help with it. Anyone has stuff in their sternum, they're getting help with it. It is a big full moon, lots of healing opportunities, and we're just going to take advantage of it. Your higher self is here getting everything that you need. Like your higher self is always on it, but is definitely on it tonight. Like, oh yeah, I'll take some more of that and some of that. And I love this healing as well. And while we're here, can you work on this particular spot for me? So absolutely. Terry, your frontal lobe, sternum, stomach. Anybody else have stomach things? There's times, man, I'm just, whew, it's a lot. Okay. We're going to work on those while we, the people in the body, are going to look at where you go unconscious to what will bring you comfort. Where you go unconscious to what will bring you comfort. Mine is here in my temporal lobes. Yeah. Third eye for Janelyn. Keely, absolutely. We're happy to give you you healings and your dog's healings as well. I think if you bring it up tomorrow to Joan, she'll work on that as well. But I can definitely text you after the healing circle and let you know what shows up. So there's a lot there. No different than any one of us. There are a lot of low frequencies in our body, and That's what we're doing right now, is we're busy transforming those. So, Terry, your telepathic channels, excellent. Excellent. So in the middle of page 161, the guides say, now the value of what we take you through today cannot be underestimated. What we are doing with you is reclaiming the life that has been lived with a mandate for a new encounter with past creations that will lift you beyond cause and effect, as you have known it, to a realization of the omnipresent divine, where it was most obscured by you and underlined by you, where you chose the other, denied truth in ignorance, or in a claim of fear. Did you get all that? It wasn't the whole paragraph. There was a small first sentence that preceded it. Here's what is happening. We are all being reclaimed. That frequency of reclamation. We are all being lifted up beyond the ideas that we have of cause and effect. All of us have been taught through school, no matter where you went to school, if you have a beaker filled with clear water and you take a blue drop of food coloring and you put it in, all of us know, right? It's going to turn some shade of blue depending on how much you put in there. And we spend a lot of time being taught, if I do this, this is what happens. And so we have a lot of ideas that, if I steal from a store, that this is going to be the result. If I am mean to somebody, this is going to be the result. If I think bad thoughts, this is going to be the result. There's a lot of different ways it shows up. It doesn't have to be in the physical. It can be from an energetic standpoint. And it does not have to make sense. Our brains do not necessarily think in a straight line, think very organized thoughts, think thoughts that actually make sense. So that's what they're talking about. We are being lifted beyond anything that we've created in the past, beyond the cause and effect, all the pieces that we have been taught, as you have known it, to a realization of the divine that was most obscured by you. The places where we have denied the divine in ourselves, in other people, in everything around us. I often, when I think of denying the divine, my higher self often shows me a little like spider walking by, like, yeah, I've denied the divine in that, and a whole bunch of other things. And it's the places where we've denied the truth of who we are, denied truth in ignorance or in a claim of fear. Oh, no. It is not safe to let people know how powerful you are. Oh, it is not safe to claim that you can transform low frequency simply by waving your hands. We're going to go ahead and move as many of those past life pictures. A bunch of you were just like flipping them, like a deck of cards. What about this life and this life and this life and this life? Yes, all of those lives that we have felt unsafe. Pretty much. Let's just stay with unsafe, been in fear, for showing who we are, for standing in our light. And for some of us, it might actually be this lifetime where people were busy telling you that you're not powerful, you're not smart, you're not capable, you're not creative, all of those things. So, because probably all of you have been in the healing circle before, I have a little bit of a love for when Paul speaks up and kind of challenges the guides. And so, Paul on the bottom of page 161 is like, please, no more rough seas. I'm asking for no more rough seas. Anybody else asking for no more rough seas? Like, okay, I've had enough. Can we get to the good part? Can we get to the part where it's a little calm? I'll even take like 2 days. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just let me have some breath and get to a place where it's just a little calm. And this book actually, which I should have looked it all up. This one is 2022, back when we thought life was really easy. And they're like, the world you are expressing in Paul is in a rough sea, is as a rough sea, but we're all being lifted to the top of the wave that is going to carry us to the new. And there is a lot of times that you're going to feel tossed around and confused, and which way is up, and why do I feel so triggered by what is happening around me. And we don't even have to go to the craziness of the world stage. We can just look at our own lives. I'm sure all of you have these places where in your own life you're just topsy-turvy, doesn't even begin to explain it. So yeah, and Janelyn, yeah, drama and trauma, there's just a lot. And we are constantly healing that, working on that, and it's coming up so that we can look at it and then we can transform it. Can't transform what you can't see. So at the bottom of the page, they say, our reconciliation with you must then entail a reclamation of the life lived, inclusive of past choice. The ramifications of these choices are already present in your field. Again, think of embroidery or stitching upon a cloth or a veil. To lose the embroidery on the veil is to release the ideas that have accrued value, that were stained there in fear, stitched there in anger, claimed in anger, that you now wear as embroidery or stitching in what you would call the auric field. Our field around us is filled with the anger, the claims we have made, the judgment, the fear. All of that stuff is out there in the field. And as we transform it in ourselves, we're transforming it out in the field. And they tell us this: when a life is made new or reclaimed in the higher octave, the residual effect of past choice is still present in the life lived. We've healed it, but there's still a residual. I think of it kind of like the stain that is still there. So how do we get rid of the stain? How do we get rid of that residual effect? We reconcile it. Instead of punishing ourselves for the past choices we've made, denying the past choices we've made, or being fearful of the ramifications of what we've done. Anybody have any comments about that? Anybody have any of that? All right, let's look for some places. We need to heal some stuff here. Let me ask you a question. Where have you denied God out of fear? Where is there a place, Terry, where is there a place in you that you have denied God out of fear? And that might look like, you're sitting in, you're out on the playground with a bunch of friends, and they start talking about, what they've done this weekend, and you spent all weekend, in church for whatever reason, at synagogue, somewhere, in a religious institution, and they turn around to you and ask you what you did this weekend, and you go, because, oh my God, you can't possibly tell them that you spent all weekend doing something with your family, with your church. Mine shows up right here in my third eye, and it kind of expands across my frontal lobe. And I spent some time trying to remember if something like that happened to me. And what I kept seeing were past life pictures of that, where it was not safe to talk about, religion out in the world. And there's certainly been tons and tons of that we know through history. So we're going to work on those places where we denied God out of fear. And you probably have a lot of examples in your own life, or you have the awareness, your higher self is like, oh, and this time, and this time, and this time. And Janelyn says, in situations of anger and not understanding. Yep, in your frontal lobes, awesome. We got anger in there too. Janelyn, anger is coming up. And Jill says, third eye and physical eyes. And, this conversation about where we have denied the divine is the very basic level of all that Melchizedek talks about in every single one of the books. Someday I may go through and search and see how many times they actually say the denial of the divine, because I'm sure it's hundreds of times, because denying the divine in ourselves and in others and in things is the basis of all that we're going through. It's the basis of fear. It's the basis of unworthiness. It is the very basic thing that they talk about. So they say, and the action we take with you now, reconciliation with the idea of history, where you have been participatory and actor in the effect of the denial of the divine upon the template you live in, must be decided and can be so. Judy says, mostly the denial of the divine in myself. Yep, you're not good enough to be divine. Of course. Absolutely. We all have tons and tons of that. Shame, submission. We're going to go ahead and move as many past life pictures as we can, because there's just stacks and stacks of them. A lot of stuff that we brought in with us from previous lifetimes. And in this lifetime, what we are doing is we're working on the stuff in present time for our present life. And then as we work on those things, our higher self will on occasion go up and pull stuff out of our soul personality memory bank and give us a whole nother load of it. So it is a reminder to us when we think, oh, I've got this, I've figured this out, I've worked on this enough, I finally moved enough of this shame, for example. And then you're like, walking around kind of, okay, I got this. And then suddenly you feel like you have more. It is one, more stuff coming up, and also that our higher selves will pull more from our soul personality memory bank for us to work on, because once you've got the idea about how to heal it, then you can just keep healing the next layer and the next layer and the next piece. And so, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, Terry, Peter denied Christ 3 times before the cock crowed. And it's that place for all of us where some of those religious pictures are showing up. Heal more of those. But, and Terry, it's not about what you said. It's about those places where people have shame, anger, fear, pain around that somebody would deny Christ. So we're working on that. See? Look at all the stuff we can do. Okay, and if you want to know about the text, when they talk about the template you live in, they're talking about the world you live in, the template you live in. It is the world that we live in. Lots of recreation frequency coming in for all of us. Religious programming, yep. Denial of the divine. And of course, we have a lot of religious programming. We have a lot of programming of all different kinds. So team, let's go through and move out some more programming and some control energies. So if you want to know about the control energies, a lot of these look like little. Someday I'm gonna get the word really well. The little discs that are in like your phone or in a camera. If somebody has the word, please feel free. Pop it into the chat. But they look for me like the little discs. This is a floppy disk. These are the little ones. Oh, my age is showing. We're going to go through, and there are little programs that are running, and what happens is when the energy runs across them, it hits the programming, and if you have programming about judgment or fear or pain, it activates that program and runs that program. And so we go in and we transform those programs, and it's a good thing. Then it can't run it anymore, right? So there's dozens and dozens and dozens of them that are being transformed, and in some places there's several of them connected together, and we're transforming those as well. While they're doing that, here's the claim of truth, or the attunement. Wow, move those. On this day, we claim that the realization of the monad in the energetic field will reclaim and re-see any aspect of self that has engaged in the denial of the divine or refuted the divine out of fear, knowingly or unknowingly. And because we claim this for each of you in true self, in true alignment, in a mandate of love, we may support you each in a level of resonance where this reconciliation can occur without a bias or fear of what it will entail. They're moving the punishment pictures, the ideas that there was shame or blame or something more to whatever the past choice is, that your higher self is like, yes, I'd like to get rid of these. So, where have you denied God So you know we're working on these. Where have you denied God out of unworthiness? I'm not enough. Me, little me, I don't have any power or control. I'm not the light. I am not capable of, being that person that we have some idea of. And then we go back to, well, all the disciples, they were really powerful, amazing individuals. And so, of course, they were able to support Jesus when he was here. Of course, they were able to do all that they did. Let me tell you that they were people exactly like us, having a lot of the same experiences that we were. The frequency of the planet was even lower, if you can believe it, even lower than it is now. And they were just doing what was next for them to do. Not unlike you. You are doing what is next for you to do. We don't have to be this, well-recognized person on the street to be being the light in our everyday lives. We are transforming so much more than we can imagine, exactly as we are. And I get it, because I spend a lot of time being like, if I were more powerful. Where's that worthiness in you? Where's that unworthiness in you? Let's look for the right thing. Where are you holding a lot of unworthiness that is denying the divine? You're denying the divine in you. Terry, I'm with you with the sternum. And I have a lot in my throat. So the energies that you're bathing in have shifted in the last couple of minutes. Some of you may still be bathing in those energies of the full moon. Some of you might be like, but I loved, being in the triumph frequency. There's also these frequencies of celebration, the frequency of grace there. Grace is really about helping your central nervous system in particular. The frequency of reconciliation is there. Truth, divinity. So just so you have that awareness that these baths are, how I'm seeing them is kind of like those lights that are really subtle, where they keep changing colors, and you look at them and you're like, oh, I thought that was red the last time I looked at it. And then you look at it and it's like, but it's pink. Real subtle changes for you. And you can just check in and ask. Jill, third eye, awesome. Getting all the third eyes. All the eyes. They talk about Paul stepping under a shower on page 163. When you enter the shower, you are not clean. The purpose of the shower is to wash the body. When you are lifted to this level of resonance, while things fall away of their own accord, what you are still accountable to are the ramifications of past choice. And in this case, we mean the denial of the divine in whatever form the acts have taken. Our agreement now is that this will be done in love, in freedom, and in an agreement to be renowned beyond prior choice. When you make this claim, I am in agreement to be known beyond prior choice, you are giving permission for the old and the reconciliation to the new, which releases the stitching or the embroidery or the manifestation in the energetic field field of the denial of the divine that still claims you in alignment to your fear or your agreement to fear. I am in agreement to be known beyond prior choice. That's like that place our personalities keep getting in the way. Our personalities keep saying, but I haven't done enough penance. I haven't done enough to transform this. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I can't just snap my fingers and have it transform. And the guides are telling you basically, yes, you can. And as you continue reading the book talks a lot about how we have always been divine. We have always had this element of the monad, and the monad is the bigger part of ourselves. It's beyond our higher self. So higher personality is here, higher self is here, the monad is way up here. The monad is made up of the different pieces of your higher self, and it is always way beyond all of the ideas we have that we need to do more to be worthy of God, to be free of our past choices. And they are literally telling us you can say, I am in agreement to be known beyond prior choice, and boom, it's done. Anybody need a healing on that? Channeling, yep, it's in your sternum. And BG, yep, it's in your throat. We are so much more than we remember. We are so much more than we can fathom, because we are constantly getting lots of information that is telling us that we're not enough. And so we're like, okay, I'm enough. God loves me exactly as I am. I don't have to change anything. I'm great. And then we go out into the world and have all sorts of things hit us. It's like, oh, maybe that's not true. God, I thought I was enough. And God goes, you are enough. And you go, what? Did somebody say something? Was there something said there? Part of being here on planet Earth. Yeah, if we all said that, BG, I am in agreement to be known beyond my prior agreement. How would the world change? Yep, your choices. Terry, yep, the base of your skull. And Terry, yours actually, there's a lot that goes around up into your ears as well. Down at the bottom of page 163, we say this again for you each. The ability we have to truly know you, to bear witness to your truth, can and will supersede what is not true and has never been true. And in this agreement with you, not only are you reknown, you are redeemed. The frequency of redemption. Sky blue, watch it come in, feel it in your body. Take a moment to feel that redemption frequency. Because the energetic field you hold can now claim its alignment to the monad, the truth of your being that is without fear, the pure self, untainted, unaggrieved, the aspect of you that is the divine come into manifestation at the cost of any idea or prior action that would refute it. Here's my suggestion, because I did this for myself and it was fabulous. take some time and ask for more redemption frequency. See yourself covered in that sky blue frequency. And if you find yourself going, is this the right color? Am I doing it right? Is this real? Ask for the healing that is always available, and realize that when you are being redeemed, you are being lifted up beyond any of those old ideas that you had. So I was using this in for myself in a space where I was like, I'm really tired of snapping at my husband, at being really short-tempered with him when I'm feeling like overwhelmed. And I asked my higher self about that. Like, okay, how can I get rid of more of that? How can I let go more of that? I'm tired of being that person. And I kept seeing the redemption frequency coming in. I'm like, okay, load me up. Whatever I need, wherever I need it, however it will best serve me, load me up. And it probably was an hour later that I was feeling good, and he came into the room and just started like, and I was like, all of a sudden I had this awareness of, oh, I don't have to respond in the way that I always have. It was a moment of, I was about to talk, and then I just had this like, oh, wow, I don't have to respond the same way. And it was a powerful teaching for me that it's a healing opportunity, that you can heal those things. You're not stuck always responding the same way. But when you bring intention to it, I would like to transform more of this. So I would be really curious to know how it works for you all. I don't think it's just, oh, it's just me, I'm just that amazing. I don't think any of that. Try it. Let me know what shows up for you. Ask for something that you're like, I'm tired of this, man. I am tired of being this now. I want to let this go. I'm going to add lots of redemption frequency to those ideas, to wherever they show up, to whatever they look like. I mean, I'm open to whatever it is, and I'm willing to trust that it'll be perfect. And then just see. And just because you don't do it all, because to be honest with you, probably 2 hours later, I was like, I'm like, oh, okay, so it doesn't work all the time. Doesn't mean it's good all the time, but try it. Down at the bottom of 163, Paul interrupts the teaching. Well, there are consequences to the past actions or past thoughts we've held. Once this happens, there is residual effect, but you are no longer creating from these blemishes or this embroidery upon the energetic field that still serves as an attractor to what you would call karma. The frequency of reconciliation lifts you up beyond the karmic pieces to that, raises you up beyond having to balance the karma with someone else, and cleans it out. Says it's not wiping the slate clean, it is releasing the first need to deny the divine, which claimed all the difficulties that followed. When I forgot that my husband was divine. When I forgot that I was divine. When I forgot that everything that I do is divinely perfect and divinely timed for my teachings, for my transformation. Judy, I love that. Judy says she journals her prayers for transformation. Starts with asking for clarity, and by the end, I'm shown the why. Amazing way to transform. Yeah, absolutely. And that frequency of clarity is cerulean blue. It's a beautiful frequency. And yeah, well, actually, the frequency of transformation is violet flame. So when you do that, you're like, bring it on, man. Spike all this stuff up, bring it up, bring it up. Yeah, it's fabulous. And a lot of ugly crying. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it works for you. And so you go, yes, take more of that. Gentlemen, you'd like to transform your mindset on your appearance. You're working on it. You are working on it. We have so many pictures and frames and control energies that are busy telling us that we need to look like this, whatever this image is. And as I said that, I saw like this little paper doll, and you can dress the paper doll however you want. And we have lots of control energies dictating that. So we are just constantly healing those control energies however they show up. Yeah, you've really let yourself go, gentlemen. You've let yourself be, right? As opposed to letting yourself go. You're letting yourself be. I'm letting myself be who I am in truth. How about that one? I am letting myself be who I am in truth. And we'll help you with those we'll help you with a lot of those movies, pictures, control energies. It's a lot out there. It is a lot of pressure. You can tune into your bath, what your bath looks like. Been seeing a lot of the divinity frequency in the baths. That's that emerald green. There's also some of them that are magic. Magic is that brighter green. I often think of magic as the color of Tinkerbell. Just my own little bias. And then some of them are very aqua or teal color. Teal is the frequency of bliss. Way to go. Okay. Okay. While we've been talking, we've been moving those places where you have denied the divine in anger and in shame. But if you want to know where those places are, you can always ask. I encourage everyone to just keep chatting with your higher self. Like, Judy journals. I did a lot of journaling for a long period of time. I only do it once in a while now, but I do love it because it's amazing what shows up. I do a lot when I'm walking now, sitting in prayer, in meditation, whether you're walking, being in nature. Maybe it's something where you love to draw, and create art, and that's where you find that you're able to have great conversations with your higher self. There is no one way to do it, and so it is perfect how it shows up. We've also been working on those places where you are busy punishing yourself for the ramifications of things that you've done. I hear this phrase, you don't understand. If you knew what I did, if you heard what I said, if you had experienced it like I did, those things are getting big healings. There's ramifications. And that is part of what the guides talk about, getting healings on those places where you're still holding yourself like you need to be punished. They even talk about this. This is your agreement to let this go at this time. Let it go. Mm-hmm. Moving those pictures, Jacqueline, where you feel attacked. Down at the bottom of page 164, the reconciliation of divine will with the will of the personality structure has been discussed, but we will return here for a moment so that you understand that the choice to agree to this level of clearing or reconciliation with your own creations is the claim of the Christ within each of you. The desire to align to divine will is divine will in accord with your true nature. You have become who you truly are. You are no longer aspiring to it. You are released from the old as you become of the fabric of the divine in perpetuity. Paul says, what does this mean? I get you, Paul, man. There's a lot of times I go, what? It means that you are born anew, that the creation of your expression, unblemished, unadorned, an expression of the divine that has come in its unique way as you, is in perpetuity or continual unfoldment. When you are releasing at this level, you are not reclaiming what you release in the lower accord. You're not reclaiming it. You're letting it go. It's gone. Let your personality be reminded it's gone. When an aspect of self is reconciled with source, it is reknown as of the fabric of the whole because it is no longer denying it. On this night, we claim. On this day, we claim. In this life, we claim that all creations made in fear will be reconciled to truth, and the truth of the divine that indeed makes all things new. Huge downloads of reconciliation frequency into this container that is the healing circle. You have the opportunity anytime you want to ask for more reconciliation frequency. Reconciliation reconciles everything to a higher level so that there is no karma attached to it. When I teach this in the Mastery of Your Information class, I talk about it as the get out of jail free card. Because you don't have to keep reliving it, replaying it, redoing it over and over again. The reconciliation frequency lifts you up and above it where it's no longer there. It's a fabulous day in the healing world. It is. Reconciliation frequency. Put it on your list of things to use often. Right up there with love and joy, all those other frequencies. Yes, yes, yes. It's fabulous. Fabulous. All right. It's a lot of reconciliation and a lot of those baths. Now, when I look at the baths that we've all been sitting in, I now have the awareness of the alchemy, the designs that are in the baths, and how they show up is like a lot of these like geometrics and numerics and healing symbols like are floating around in the tub. I didn't notice them when I first started talking about it. You know, it just now showed up. I was like, oh, look at all that healing that has been in the baths. And it is fabulous. Amazing. You know, this is a great way to transform more of the stuff that has made us a little crazy, or made me a little crazy. Might be just me. So they're just finishing up with that. That's why I'm kind of sitting here watching. All right, so the next healing circle that we are doing it on March 16th and March 17th, Monday and Tuesday. And we are going to be in the new book, Divine Union. This scares me, man. I read the first few pages and I was like, oh my God, what? What did they just say? And you know, I really get sometimes triggered, like, no, not that book. But we're going to be doing day 3. And I'm just going to read this piece to you. Do they have it? Okay, they told me to read the claim of truth. Thank you, Judy. It's never just me. It's true. There is only one of us here. For goodness sakes. Okay, here's the claim of truth from Divine Union, which is the most recent book. It just came out in January, I think. That feels like a long time ago. On this day, I allow myself to be known without the limited structures that have codified my experience. On this day, I allow the expansion of my being to overwhelm the structures that I have erected and move me beyond the limited sense of self and expansion that I have known thus far. And as I say yes to this, I give permission to the walls that were created with my agreement to be moved to a new agreement. I am one with the source of all things. I am one with the source of all things. I am one with the source of all things. I am one with the source of all things might be something that you want to work with. We will definitely be talking about that on the 16th and 17th. Awesome. So as you know, I am always available if there's something that shows up for you. If tomorrow you're like, pardon my French, what the fuck was that? Feel free to text me, to send me a message, send me a smoke signal. If you're in a place where you just like, you don't have access to your phone, seriously, send a message through the quantum field because I am happy to help you. I actually had my whole schedule cleared until I do the healing circle tomorrow afternoon. So I am going to be out with tobacco, doing work on this container, helping you guys, whatever you need. Please feel free to send me a message. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, do it through the field. So anybody, Terry, I get a lot of calls through the field. I do. It's very funny to watch how it shows up. And all of us do, right? You're walking, on your way to work and you start thinking of somebody that you haven't thought of in a while and you're like, oh, here's some healing. So yeah, totally fabulous. All right, so now I'm going to seal the field unto the light of that one true source creator God, the one who is all the love, all the magic, all the joy, the reconciliation, and all of that good stuff. Oh, I thank my healing team. I thank the support teams, but most of all, I thank you guys who, are generous enough to say, yes, I want to heal more. Yes, I am willing to be the light. Yes, I'm willing to spend an hour getting some more healing so that I can keep going up in frequency and being that shining beacon of light out into the world. So I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I give you a great big hug every time I think of you. I just love and adore each and every one of you, and you can know that you are always in my prayers. I hope you have a fabulous full moon and a lot of magic and joy along the way. With that, I say amen and aho. I love you guys. Take care.